Hello.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about, I have my second one in mind, but I'm going to stop there and let Jane turn it over to you, Jane.
Hi. It's so good to be here. I'm sorry for all those technical glitches and sound feedback and so on. Um, I know you've been at this for quite a while. Um, you must all be exhausted. And I've been trying to do what I can to revive my activism from 30 years ago when I wrote a slew of songs about disability rights issues, and then I kind of went quiet for a while. And uh, during many of my relapses, I lost the ability to play guitar, which has hampered me somewhat, but not enough to give up. And it's like anything with disability, right? You just find another way to keep moving on, another way to do things. And if you lose one thing, there's got to be something else. And I know if I had time, I would get somebody, a great guitarist like Moon Joyce, maybe, to help me play these songs again and keep me singing. Um, but for today, I I can read the lyrics of a song I just wrote last night at the 11th hour, thinking there's got to be a song about this bill and somebody's got to do it. So it better be me. So I wrote Stop Bill C7 Now, and it needs a tune. I've got lots of tunes going around in my head, but nothing that's really landed yet. So, do you want to hear the lyrics? Uh,
Yes, we do.
Okay. Stop Bill C7 now. They will vote on Bill C7, an invitation into heaven, a chance for us to leave this earth too soon. Aren't we lucky, so you say? We can die and go away, end our pain and leave this world. How opportune. But wait, what are you saying? That my life is not worth saving? What do you know about the way I live? I have friends and I have love. I have hopes I'm dreaming of, and I value everything I have to give. Don't offer me the right to die with this law that you've inscribed, this law based upon your ableist assumptions. If you could not wipe your bum, you'd think life was surely done. Life is so much more than just our body functions. We need laws that help us thrive, laws that keep us all alive, laws that let us live with equal access. Let us stay in our own homes, give us support to live alone, vote for laws that lead to health and happiness. Bill C7 must be upended. We don't need MAID to be extended. There is danger looming large within our nation. There are many lives at stake. Stop before it is too late. Stop this shameful, harmful, wrongful legislation.
Jane, that is wonderful. What kind of tunes do you have in mind? Like
Well,
one
I'm
of
thinking
adding on to one of your existing ones, or?
it needs to be sort of a marching song, a rallying song of some kind, but then there's parts of it that are almost hymn-like. Well,
Mhm.
you know. So yeah, I'm going to keep working on it, and even if they dare to pass this insane law, um, we still need the song. We still need to keep up the fight. We shall not give up the fight. We have only started. We have only started. We have only started. We shall not give up the fight. We have only started. We have only started. We have only started. So
Mhm.
this morning I sat down as soon as I got up and grabbed a cup of coffee, which I can do now. I've had varying degrees of disability, as you know, and times when I couldn't even feed myself, and times when I could. And it's all good. It's all possible. And I know, as someone who's had to have other people wiping her bum on many a glorious occasion, that it's not the end of the world. And we've
Oh, the
got to
door is
do
true.
something to
Yes,
stop
you remind me
people
of that.
from thinking that disability is worse than death. It's just madness that this attitude prevails in 2021, and all the advocacy work, all the work we've done on human rights, everything can't be set back this way. This is just so outrageous and shocking, but people still think that somehow they're doing a good thing if they let disabled people have the chance to choose death. That this is what we want. This is disability rights. This is something that is good for us. It's just so mixed up. So I wrote an updated verse to The Fishing is Free. And perhaps if you don't remember how The Fishing is Free goes, all my songs were and are still somewhat satirical, tongue in cheek, but with a very, very serious message at heart. So I'll sing you The Fishing is Free and add my new Bill C7 verse. The fishing is free with your disability. You don't need a license like the rest. Movies are half the price. Well, isn't that nice? And the parking spots are nothing but the best. Don't you wish that you were disabled? Disabled is the better way to be. With crutches, canes, and braces, and wheelchairs to run races. Don't you wish that you were just like me? With wheel trans to get about, it's a wonder we go out. It's so much fun to try to book a ride. You phone 4 days ahead, and if you're lucky, so it's said, you might get there, but if you don't be surprised. Don't you wish that you were disabled? Disabled is the better way to be. Some chairs are motorized and high-tech computerized. Don't you wish that you were just like me? The deaf have got sign language, the blind have got their dogs, their loyal, trusted guides are at their sides. Well, everyone has their vices, but we've got our devices. Don't you envy us our privileged lives? Don't you wish that you were disabled? Disabled is the better way to be. When we go out, it's really neat. We're always sure we'll get a seat. Oh, don't you wish that you were just like me? No one knows just what to call us, which label should befall us, and there's some dandy terms from which to choose. My favorite's wheelchair bound, 'cause it has a bondage sound. It's fun to guess what term they're gonna use. Don't you wish that you were disabled? Disabled is the better way to be. There's special entrances in stores. They let us in through the back doors. Don't you wish that you were just like me? I tell you, we've got all the breaks 'cause we've got what it takes. I haven't even mentioned income tax. There are credits and reductions to give us tax deductions. When April comes, I guess we can relax. Don't you wish that you were disabled? Disabled is the better way to be. With all these benefits and perks, that's how the system works. Oh, don't you wish that you were just like me? Pack up all your gear, 'cause moose season is here. Disabled people get to jump the gun. We can start a week ahead to shoot the creatures dead. So look out, moose, you'd better start to run. Don't you wish that you were disabled? Disabled is the better way to be. With government regulations and special dispensations, don't you wish that you were just like me? With Bill C7 set to pass, what more then can we ask? We've got death to see us promptly out the door. But we've got so much more to give. We need bills that help us live, or we simply can't go fishing anymore. Don't you wish that you were disabled? Disabled is the better way to be. Now we can die before our time. Do you really think that's fine? Oh, don't you wish that you were just like me? Don't you wish that you were disabled? Disabled is the better way to be. Now we can die before our time. Do you really think that's fine? Don't you wish that you were just like me? So that's The Fishing is Free updated for 2021.
Wow.
This song could get longer and longer and longer if they keep trying to pass ridiculous, outrageous legislation.
Yeah.
There'll be plenty more verses to come. Does anyone have any questions for me about what I do and why I do it, or anything related to this?
Hi, Dean. It's a wonderful verse. This is Tracy Ordell speaking. Thank you so much for writing that. Was it like, were you asked to write something, or were you compelled to write it? How did that come about?
I was compelled by my inner voices, I guess, because when I heard that this was happening, I just thought, I have to do something. I can't let my community down. I can't let Catherine and Gabrielle down, who are doing so much work on this. And Catherine, and I know many others, have been working to fight this legislation for so long and have worked so hard. And I've been on the sidelines. I've been watching. I've been cheering. I've been angry, I've been outraged, but I just haven't really known what to do. And I just last night, as I said, at the 11th hour, I thought, what are you what are you saying? You don't know what to do. You're a songwriter. For Pete's sake, sit down and write something. So I just sat down at like literally 10 o'clock last night and wrote Stop Bill C7. And then this morning when I got up, I had The Fishing is Free bouncing around in my head. And I thought, that needs another verse. I have to add to that one. So yeah, it's my own inner compulsion to do something. And I think the realization that it's no good to say, I don't know what to do. It's no good to say, I can't do anything. It's a matter of doing what you can do and sitting down and doing it, or rising up and
Yeah.
doing it. And um, like I said before, it's like everything with disability. Um, you don't give up. You don't say, oh, now I can't use my left hand, so I guess life is over. No, you use your right hand, and then your right hand becomes functionless, and you say, well, I have no hands now, I guess life is over. No, you use your mouth stick. You poke it and you use it and you bite it and you make things happen. You push those buttons, literally elevator buttons. I remember pushing those with my mouth stick. I remember dialing the phone, pushing the buttons with my mouth stick. And we've got to push the buttons of our government in the hardest, angriest ways we have, to show them that they can't do this to us. Why are they offering us the chance to die? Why aren't they legislating access, laws that include support so people don't have to live in nursing homes, palliative care that gives people the chance to live out their lives, not end them just preemptorily, just too soon. And I just started thinking about all of that, and thinking, I have to do what I can do, and what I can do is still sing. And there's a lot to be said for singing as a way to rally people, to get people engaged. And we need people watching this. We need people watching us. We need people engaged with us. We need people to get it, to get it. The disability is not the end. It doesn't end anything. And the phrases like, I don't want to end up in a wheelchair, are still in common usage in the language that we hear today around disability and around people's attitudes to disability. It's like the wheelchair is the end, or losing any of our senses, losing one's sight, losing one's hearing. Somehow that's the end. No, it's the start of something different. If you lose something, and I know this from inside my heart better than many, many people do, because I've been in and out of disability. I've been totally paralyzed on a respirator, quadriplegic, my face paralyzed, everything paralyzed. But there was still reason to keep going and to find love and to find the things that I could do. And while I was still quadriplegic, I did things like join a choir, edit a newsletter, direct my own care because of the wonders of direct funding that you were talking about, Tracy, and what that enabled me to do to live an independent life. But without those supports, that wouldn't have been possible, and I'd have to find another way. But I still couldn't see giving up because life is precious and valuable, and I have something to give, whether it's through any physical interaction with society. It may not be, but I still have something to give with my thoughts and who I am and what I have to say. So I'm absolutely rambling. I know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've made any sense in the past 2 minutes of this little rant, but yeah. So I felt compelled to try to do something that I could do.
Well, it's wonderful. And Jane, I think like you are in a very unique position because I think of the thousands of people that have registered their support of expanding medical assistance in dying, it's because of their fear of what living with a disability would be like. They're afraid, like, what if I get this? What if I can't speak? What if someone else has to wipe my bum? Like you hear that all the time. You know, you hear that all the time. But like there's that fear or that what they imagine like life could be like, and they don't get to see anything other than disability as a tragedy. You know, like the happy ending in a disability movie is a person gets a way to kill themselves, like that's a happy ending, or they get cured, right? And so that's a happy. There's only like two happy endings if the protagonist of the story is a person with a disability. So people have this sense, and I remember speaking with a friend of mine who was a police trainee, and being in a bar, and there was someone in the bar in a wheelchair, and he's like, "Oh my God, you know, if that ever happens to me," he said to his friend, "just shoot me." But when it actually happened to him, when he was injured and broke his neck and was paralyzed, he says that will to live is so strong, you know, and he went through his rehab, and he found a job that he could do. It wasn't in policing, but he found another job that he could do, and it was in the disability community, managing support services for folks. He eventually got to move back to his hometown to do it, where he was from there and knew like the culture and lots of the people there. Met his wife before he moved, and anyways, things worked out well for him, better than he might have ever imagined, right? So what people imagine is so off base from the reality. And I just wonder, you've kind of been like that song, both sides now, like you've lived on both sides back and forth. And I just wonder if you could speak a little bit to that, to like to speak to what people's fears are what's real, what is imagined, and like, what is your experience?
Well, you're right. I mean, I did go through that thinking, oh my God, I can't imagine living with attendant care. How do you have somebody arrive at 7 in the morning and drag you out of bed and shower you and feed you and dress you? It seemed impossible in some ways because I just couldn't imagine it. And then like the police officer you were just describing, then it happens and there you are. And you know what? You find that it's just that kind of attendant care becomes the background of your day, not the focus. And how you get out of bed and how you get your clothes on and how you get your nourishment, basically how you get set up for the day, is all background to what you're then actually going to go and do. The books you're going to read, the people you're going to meet, the things you might do on the computer, on the internet, the ways in which you find to participate in the world around you. You find you can do it. It's different. It's just different, but it's not horrifying and it's not the end. And I found, I always found things in common with my attendants that made having a shower with somebody else actually fun. I had an attendant who was from Nigeria quite recently, and realized that I still knew all the words to the Nigerian national anthem because I had taught school in Nigeria back in 1980. And so there we were singing the Nigerian national anthem together in the shower. I mean, who gets to do that? Only people who are lucky enough to need support to have a shower. Otherwise, you're singing alone in the shower. How sad. So needing to have somebody else with you in the bathroom sounds horrifying to many people, but you can turn it around and it becomes a choir in your shower. So, I mean, there are funny things like that happen, but it's just that realization that life goes on in whatever way, in whatever form, whatever shape it ends up taking. And some of that, a lot of that, we have no control over whatsoever. But what we do have control over is our attitudes to
Absolutely,
it.
absolutely. So, thank you so much, Jane. We're going to move over to our next broadcaster who's coming online now. And please stay on if you can. It'd be lovely to have you here and to comment as we go on. Stay, come and go whenever you want. But that'd be great. Thank you so much. And we hope you'll be able to share the words to your next verse of The Fishing is Free with us. Love to have it.
Thanks for having me. And yeah, I'll stick around and I'll stop talking so much, but I'll be in the background and on your side and by your side and here.
Thank you, Dan. Oh, it was just wonderful. But yeah, don't go away. And absolutely, it's great to see. Oh, yeah, and Pat said, be sure to tell Hillary she doesn't have to keep dodging the camera. We don't mind.
Yeah.
We're in a safe space. There she is. Okay, back to you, Tracy.